I'm Maepa, and I'm here to talk about self-determination, focus, clarity, and practical tools that you can use to help you make choices in your own lives. None of us needs to feel overwhelmed all the time, or freaked out, or have insomnia, or any of the other plagues that plague us throughout our lives. Can I get the next slide, please? Oh, go ahead and press the space bar, and we should be good. So who am I? So I'm a tech entrepreneur. My specialty is in technology commercialization. I operate in the energy space, actually, and strangely enough, my background also includes hands-on healing, specifically massage therapy. It's a long way and an interesting road that I won't bore you with, going from my undergraduate work at Caltech to doing massage therapy and then into entrepreneurship. And one of the things that links all of that is the fact that in order to succeed, in order to achieve, in order to be at peace with myself, I need to know who I was. And so I want to help you guys with some of the tools that I picked up at massage school and reading about mindfulness and just hearing from my friends and looking at research also into ways to improve your life and make your life be what you want it to be because you've chosen to make it be like that. So there's a lot of people who, at BIL, I would expect, and in general in the world, who aren't really thinking day to day about their lives. They're kind of, oh, I want to get this done, and I want to do this, and their body is something, they think about the body as some magical other, very much in our heads, and if we think about our body, it's as this kind of magical place. I like this title because this is a really great book by Storm Constantine called The Enchantments of Flesh and Spirit. These are things that we think of as maybe distractions or things that, okay, we got to feed the machine, but we're not realizing that in fact our minds are our bodies and our bodies are our minds. And so what happens in our bodies can affect our minds. What's happening in our minds can affect our bodies. I'm sure some of you in the audience have had the experience when you're working really hard, maybe you're under a significant amount of stress, and you fall ill. Those things are inextricably linked. Because if you're not taking care of your body, if you're constantly under stress, you're weakening your immune system, and you're more susceptible to illness. Next slide, please. But I talked earlier about choices. How do we make choices about our lives? You know, what are the messages that we're getting about making choices? We're getting the message that choices are hard, we have tough decisions to make. We get the message that, well, we can make a good decision or a bad decision. You know, we're getting the message that you can fail or you can succeed. I feel there's a lot of judgment implied by these messages about choices. Choices aren't, you know, wreck your life or you're exalted. Choices are, who am I? And what do I want to make out of my life? Next slide, please. For me, it's about self-determination. This awesome snake goddess, that's the image I have of myself. That's the image that I aspire to. That's not all that I am, but this is a significant part of what lights my fire, the self-image that I have. What's the image? I want all of us here to take a minute and think about what's that inspirational image that we have about who we are that helps guide you when you make a decision about what you're going to put your energy into, what's your passion, and if this is the right thing for you. And I'll be quiet for a moment while you think about that. Let's look at some ways that we can help ourselves stay focused on that vision. It's like we need to breathe, okay? One of the things that is immensely there's two things taken for granted in the human body. Our feet, and if you've ever had foot massage, you know that you take your feet for granted. And your breath. that's with us every day from the moment our umbilical cord is cut to the moment of our last breath. There are ways of breathing that increase your level of stress, and there's ways of breathing that decrease your amount of stress and your heart rate and the feeling of tension in your body. When you can get into that state, then you can pause, you can think, and you can figure out what it is that you want to achieve. The unquiet mind really plagues us today. Whether we're sitting there with a smart device in our hand or a tablet that's beeping us and telling us, oh, look at this, oh, look at that. You know, whether you've got a lot of kids running around like I do at home, whether you are working on a really tough problem, or you're having a crisis in your life, or you're just really busy with work. Our minds are constantly going. It's important that we realize this is not something happening to us. This is something we have complete control over. And in fact, the choice we're making when we have an unquiet mind is a choice not to get a handle on the lack of quiet. Thank you, perfect. One way we can get into a state where we can get a handle on things is breathing. So when we're breathing, if you put your hand on your sternum, the bone right here in your chest, you can feel often when you breathe, if you take a deep breath like the doctor says, your hand is lifted. If you put your hand on your belly and take that deep breath again, does the hand on your belly move at all? Some of you in yoga, might do this. If you do martial arts, you might do this. What you really want to do is do diaphragmatic breathing. That is breathing into your belly, into your chest, and then out. And the key for that breathing, the key that helps you quiet your mind so you can think about each item, is to do so slowly. You want to have inhale, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, count of 6. You want your exhale to be longer. When you completely fill your lungs and you're slowly exhaling, that, if we'll go to the next slide, that activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That specific recipe, exhale longer than inhale. My apologies. That specific recipe, inhale less than exhale in about a 1-to-2 ratio. That tells your parasympathetic nervous system to turn down, to relax, that everything's okay. When you have that reversed, that's a fight or flight response that you're activating, your sympathetic nervous system. And that's the place where we often are when we're under stress and we're not really thinking about all the things that we're doing, or we're thinking too much about all the things that we're doing. We're activating our fight or flight response. So let's dial that down. Let's take a moment. We put our hand on our chest, our hand on our belly, and breathe. 1, 2, 3, in. And I'll talk while you do that, because what I hope you'll find is that tension in your shoulders may decrease, your shoulders may drop. You may find a new kind of weight or lightness to your body. In any case, you're feeling your body differently than you may have a few seconds ago. And that's the kind of feeling I want you to have. And that's the kind of feeling that when you have it, gives you immense power and agency over your own life. You can think, okay, I have to go pick up the kids at 3, one's in one location, the other's in the other city. How can I do that? Can I list my friends? Can I send them an email? It's going to be okay. You just need to take a moment to think about it. Another very powerful tool that humans are hardwired for is touch. You know, when I was in massage school, I got massaged every day for a year, except, well, even on the weekends, because I was working and we would give each other massages. That told me what's possible when you're in a more relaxed state. Just like breathing, touch has the capacity to communicate so many things. It can communicate compassion, it can communicate healing, it can communicate relaxation. And so I want to teach you a few very simple tools that you can use, and we'll focus on headaches because headaches are a real good indicator of our stress levels. If we go to the next slide, I'll show you an image. These pressure points that I'm going to show you, they're Chinese medicine pressure points. They relate directly actually to your sinuses, but they also help with the headaches, because of course sinus and headaches can go together. One of the places, if you take your first 2 fingers and you place them alongside your nose, and if your index finger is right under your cheekbone, then you're pretty much in the right location. And you press in and then back. That is taking care of your ethmoid sinuses. If you start moving, and each time you're moving, you're pushing up against your cheekbone. So you're using your cheekbone as a guide. You're getting your maxillary sinuses. And I have to remember to keep talking because this is really relaxing to me. And then here at the insides of your eyes, you can feel a bone ridge kind of curving towards the inside of your eyes. You press in. You know, you could use your pinky fingers if your other fingers are too big. That gets your frontal sinuses. You know, one of the amazing things about both breathing and the massage, the acupressure, is that the more you do it, the more you feel the relaxation response, the more your body is primed to feel that response when you do it again at a later time. You know, this is something I probably do every day for the past several years. And I have to tell you, when I have a cold, if I have the flu, allergies, it is enormously helpful to have some practice that I've done that helps with my level of comfort. The other very important place to work on is right here. Let's get this out. Is right here at the back of your neck. And Jay, if I could, thank you. If you could bring the stool, because I'll need you to sit so you're a little lower, and if you can hold the microphone for me. And you put your back to everyone. So right here, you have muscles. Sorry, it's been a while. It was 10 years I was realizing since I've been in massage school. Right here at the base of your skull, you can feel the muscles. This is where they attach to the bottom of your skull, the occiput here. Take your fingers, and if you can pull up, and Jay, if you can lift your head for me, you guys can do this to yourself, and if your hands are over your head, and then Jay, I want you to very slowly just let your chin go towards your chest. And your fingers will slip underneath. You just hold pressure and let your neck, let your head drop. And you will feel an amazing stretch take place. And that can have an enormous impact for you in terms of stress headaches and stress relief. Thank you, Jay. We can get to the next slide, please. We're almost done. Next. So I want you to recognize being freaked out, being scared, being angry, any of those uncomfortable emotions, being confused, being tired. I want you to recognize those as an opportunity to make a choice. What is it that you want to see happening right now? Why aren't you letting it happen right now? What are your options? And then choose the one that you want to go for. Use your tools. You want to make sure that your mind is clear for this decision making. This is important to you. It's about being your inner snake goddess, or whatever it is that you have in mind for what you want out of your life. Next, please. Thank you. And then using that insight into yourself, make a conscious choice. You have to listen, recognize those opportunities that you have in front of you to make a choice. You need to understand through your breathing or your touch what it is that you're inspired to do and want to do, and then act. Act on that need that you have identified for yourself to make your life different, to make it better. It doesn't have to be huge better. Just, you know what, I'm going to go sleep because I'm tired. You wouldn't believe how much trouble I have with that one. And so it's an opportunity to continually practice. Thank you so much for listening.